the police trying out a new mode of patrolling downtown. Effective or not effective? From the reports that the police gave us, they say that they love them. They're increasing, the curiosity factor. It makes people talk to the police officer. The downtown patrol officers can get around more quickly through the crowded downtown. What's not to love?
Look friendly, and people want to walk up to you and say, hey.
More fuel efficient than driving those big old cruisers down there.
Not quite as fuel efficient as walking, though.
Yeah, not quite. And it's $6,000 a pop. I mean, they need it. I thought about this the other day. They've got to go to the city council to get the appropriation of funds. It's $6,000, not a big hit in the scheme of things. But when you've been cutting costs and all the rest, I'm sure it'll come up. The question is it a problem? I mean, is it that big of a deal? And my guess is, I think there'll be some discussion. I think there'll be some counselors who say we don't need it.
I hope so, because I think it's kind of a silly thing. Just
Why?
Get police out. They're walking. Walking works. I don't get how this really improves over the presence.
What do you think?
I like bicycles.
So this is more effective. You don't have to pedal around.
It's cute. It's not more effective. It's cute because you can get around just as easily, probably even better, using a bicycle. And certainly I think that the foot patrols are not as effective as bicycles. But come on, a Segway, it's cute. That's all. I'm not saying I'm against it. It's cute. But it's $6,000. Get a bicycle.
Okay, the sheriff with his, with his hay-eating horse stumbled across a car one day and said, well, that might get me around a little better. And, they went to cars. I mean, so now we're not going to go to Segways when they're perfectly effective for moving around quickly and patrolling the downtown.
But there's not a need. It's a luxury.
$6,000.
It's a luxury.
This isn't a Mercedes.
We have a fountain. You know what? I tell you what. Get the fountain fixed. We'll talk about the Segways.
It's hard for me to argue that point, but it's not like the police are suddenly going to go all over there.
You really like the Segways. That's
I don't
great.
understand. I mean, why not?
They're cute.
Actually, you know what? I was so concerned that we'd have nothing to talk about with the Segways. I had to go ask somebody, well, why would we be against the Segways? And then here you two guys, you're already against it.
I'm not against it.
I don't even know
not
what you're thinking about. I had to conjure up opposition so we'd have something to talk about. All I could come up with is that the Segways were going to be the donut to the next generation. The thing that makes them fat and lazy, don't have to walk anymore. That's the best I have. And here you two are all serious, laying it out like some big expense. And we shouldn't do it.
You have a choice: Segways or bicycles. Which would you prefer?
We already got bicycles. You add a couple of
Thank you.
Segways.
You just made my point. You already have bicycles. This is a luxury.
Effective?
I tell you what, give one to the
chief. Have you pedaled up the plaza to Ashland Springs? That's tiring.
And you know what? That's why we sent them to the police academy. They're in shape.
Why not let them cruise up, have some fun, talk to people?
Okay.
Plus, they can go faster. 15 miles an hour.
Wait a minute.
Sounds kind of cool.
Wait a minute.
So if they wanted a scooter, we wouldn't give it to them.
The first act have on the Segway. Then what?
Like they're never going to have an accident on a bicycle. I mean, you can't.
A cheaper accident.
It's not a terrible thing. It's just kind of
silly. So you guys are going to say that we're going to actually try to come out with an editorial that says don't spend the $6,000.
It's luxury.
Unless Segway's going to give the city a free Segway and pay the city to advertise their product.
Okay, let's maybe take one serious issue on this. It's increasing the presence downtown, which has been a serious issue.
It's increasing the presence of Segway downtown.
Exactly. The police were there before the Segway.
If you have two Segways, you have two officers, they're more likely to go, they're higher visibility, they're seen more, the presence of the police is downtown. It's just like the substation. The substation for $10,000, you've got a whole different energy downtown of the police.
I like the substation, I like the police downtown, I like them on bicycles. Cheaper.
I'm just going to encourage you folks back home to get to the website, tell these two how nuts they are.
What's the maintenance cost? What's the maintenance cost on a Segway?
I don't even know. What is it? Nothing? I mean,
nothing.
It's a little battery.
Mr. Moneybags here. It's a couple of Segways. That's only $12,000 here. Can I borrow $12,000?
You get a blister on a foot. You had to put a Band-Aid on it. What happens if your Segway breaks?
Then he's got to haul that Segway all the way up the hill or down the hill.
Okay, so what are we voting? Because the editorial, if you guys overrule me, one of you's writing the editorial. Pro Segway, anti Segway.
I'm with him.
Anti Segway.
Anti Segway.
I'm with the cheese, the big cheese.
So
over
what do you
here.
guys
You
gotta
just
write
flopped 7 minutes of our time,
You
and he
still
just
gotta write
flopped.
it, though.
No, I'm not gonna. If I'm gonna write it, I'm going with Miles.
Okay, all right, then you're going with Miles.
We
Topic
write
number.
them together, by the way.
Yeah, we'll
Yes,
all
we'll all pitch
edit
in,
them.
and Miles will write it.
Yeah, exactly.